Imagine a quaint town cradled by rolling hills and serenaded by whispering streams. Here, amidst vibrant streets where flowers bloom with untamed grace and cafes offer retreats of warmth, lives Emily. Her laughter fills the air, vibrant as dawn, yet her heart wrestles with storms of passion and puzzlement hidden beneath her bright exterior. Yet, beneath this joyful veneer, simmers a heart caught in a relentless storm of love and confusion. Emily's heart had always belonged to Michael, the boy who could spin the world into a magical tale with just one mischievous grin. Growing up, they wove a rich tapestry of adventures under endless summer skies. Laughter and dreams were their constant companions. Michael, with eyes like secret-holding stars, seemed destined to be her forever. Then, as if fate decided to twist the plot, Michael introduced Emily to his best friend, Daniel. Daniel's quiet strength and gentle kindness sparked something deep within Emily, a profound connection. Their bond deepened as the seasons shifted, subtly but inevitably drawing Emily closer. As the seasons changed, so did Emily's heart, quietly weaving Daniel into its deepest corners. Caught in a love triangle, Emily found herself at a crossroads. Her nights were tormented, oscillating between Michael's familiar affection and Daniel's captivating allure. Despite efforts to ignore her growing affection for Daniel, labeling them as transient feelings, her heart continued to rebel against reason. She fought hard to dismiss her feelings for Daniel as mere fleeting shadows, but the heart, as it often does, refused to obey. The tale took a sorrowful turn as Emily's indecision began to erode her relationships. Michael, feeling distanced and betrayed, withdrew into his own shell of hurt. Daniel, loyal but heartbroken, chose his friendship with Michael, stepping back from his feelings for Emily. Amidst these shifting allegiances, Emily, overwhelmed by her choices, faced the stark consequences. In a poignant climax, Emily found herself alone, the architect of her own solitude. Haunted by the echoes of what-ifs, Emily spiraled into a vortex of regret. Replaying each moment, she berated herself for not pursuing her desires bravely. Each replay sharpened her pain, deepening her sorrow. Yet it is often in our deepest regrets that we find our most profound truths. Through the veil of her sorrow, Emily gleaned hard-earned wisdom. She learned that love is a complex dance of joy and pain, never as simple as the fairy tales suggest. At each turn of her emotional dance, she encountered both fleeting happiness and profound grief. Yet, Emily understood that each step was a part of a greater ballet of life, worth every moment of struggle and elation. With resolve forged from her trials, Emily embarked on a journey of healing. In this small town, where every sunrise promises new beginnings, Emily's tale echoes through the streets. It's a testament to the resilience of the human heart, a narrative shaped by personal strength and quiet perseverance. Against all odds, her story unfolds, proving that the most enduring love stories are those we write ourselves. As the golden hues of dusk blend with the quaint town skyline, we find Emily on the old wooden bridge, the very place where her journey began. The gentle murmur of the river below seems to whisper secrets of the past, reflecting the ebb and flow of her emotions. Here, Emily pauses, her eyes tracing the familiar paths she once roamed with youthful exuberance. With each step on the creaking planks, memories flood in, a montage of laughter, tears, and tender moments that shaped her. The camera pans over vintage scenes, young Emily running through these streets, the bittersweet goodbye with Daniel, and the poignant moments of solitude that followed. Each memory, vivid as if painted across the skies, tells a story of growth. In a soft, introspective voice, Emily shares her revelations. Every heartache, she says, carried a lesson. Every tear, a reminder of the strength I harbored within. The scene shifts between the present and her reflective narrations, illustrating how her past sorrows have sculpted her into a beacon of hope and resilience. As night descends, the stars above light up, mirroring the sparks of realization in Emily's eyes. She understands now more than ever that her journey was necessary, each step a vital stitch in the fabric of her being. The bridge, once a symbol of division, now stands as a testament to her bridged past and future, a serene passage leading to a horizon filled with promise and newfound wisdom. As the night deepens, Emily remains on the bridge, enveloped by the serenity of the starlit sky. The camera slowly zooms out, capturing her solitary figure against the expansive backdrop of the sleepy town. In this quiet hour, Emily's thoughts turn inward, weaving through the tapestry of her life's journey. Each person I met, each challenge I faced, she muses, was a brushstroke on the canvas of my soul. The scene delicately transitions to a series of flashbacks. Emily laughing heartily with childhood friends, her tearful confrontations during the love triangle, and the quiet moments of introspection by the riverside. The voiceover continues, soft and reflective. In the laughter of friends, I found joy. In the echoes of heartbreak, I discovered resilience. And in solitude, I touched the depths of my spirit. As these scenes play out, the visual narrative blends past and present, showing not just the events themselves, but also Emily's reactions to these memories. Her expressions are a mix of nostalgia, pain, and ultimately peace. Back on the bridge, the camera focuses on Emily's face, illuminated by the soft glow of the moon. Life, she says, turning to gaze directly into the lens, is a mosaic of moments. Some pieces are bright, others dark, but all are necessary. The wind picks up slightly, rustling the leaves around her, as if nature itself is affirming her insights. The scene concludes with Emily walking slowly off the bridge, her silhouette gradually merging with the shadows of the night. The voiceover adds, "With every step forward, I carry the echoes of my heart, the lessons learned, and the memories cherished. These are my guiding stars, leading me to new horizons." The screen fades to black, leaving viewers to ponder the depth of their own life's reflections. As the dawn breaks, the first rays of sunlight spill over the horizon, casting a gentle light on Emily as she walks away from the bridge. The camera follows her from behind, capturing her graceful, contemplative strides. The scene is quiet, save for the soft chirping of morning birds and the distant sound of the awakening town. "Every step is a reflection of the path I've walked." Emily's voice breaks the silence, her tone imbued with a newfound clarity. The screen gently transitions into a montage of Emily's key life moments, now seen through the lens of her current understanding. We see a young Emily, her face alight with the innocence of youth, juxtaposed with her matured, serene expression as she walks through the fields surrounding her town. "In each joy and each setback, I've grown, molded by the hands of experience," she continues, her voice a soft echo to the visuals of her running through a meadow. Her laughter a stark contrast to the composed, thoughtful smile she wears now. The camera pans over the landscape, mirroring her inner landscape, a vibrant tapestry of emotions and memories. As Emily stops by a familiar old oak tree, the scene shifts, showing her once carving initials with a childhood sweetheart, the young love filled with promises. The present-day Emily touches the aged bark, tracing the now-faded initials, her face a complex mix of nostalgia and acceptance. "Love, in its various forms, has taught me about the depths of my heart and the strength of my spirit," she reflects, her eyes misty yet resolute. The montage flows seamlessly into scenes of her challenges, disagreements with friends, the heart-wrenching moments of the love triangle, and the solitude that brought her sorrow yet profound insights. Each memory is depicted not just as a moment in time, but as a pivotal point in her life's narrative. Returning to the present, Emily sits beneath the oak tree, the camera positioned in front, capturing the peaceful resolve on her face. "This journey, every bright and dark piece, has shaped me into who I am," she declares, a gentle smile playing on her lips as she looks up into the sprawling branches overhead. The voiceover adds, "Like the branches of this old oak, my life's paths have sprawled in unexpected directions, each turn, each climb, bearing the weight and beauty of lived experiences." As she stands, leaving the tree behind, the camera follows her, the early morning light casting long shadows on the ground. "And now," Emily says, stepping into the light, "armed with the wisdom of the past and the hope of the morning, I am ready to face the new day." The scene fades with Emily walking towards the rising sun, her silhouette a symbol of hope and renewal, leaving viewers with a sense of closure and the anticipation of new beginnings. As the screen fades into a soft golden hue, we are brought back to Emily, now standing on the outskirts of the quaint town, overlooking the vast expanse that stretches beyond. The camera gently zooms in on her face, capturing the subtle interplay of emotions as she gazes out towards the horizon. "It's in these quiet moments of solitude that the truest reflections emerge," Emily's voice whispers, almost blending into the gentle rustling of the leaves around her. The scene transitions into a reflective montage where past and present converge. We see flashes of Emily's childhood, her vibrant laughter filling the air as she plays among the autumn leaves. Cut to a present-day Emily, her smile more reserved, yet deeper, enriched by the layers of life she has experienced. "Each laughter, each tear, has been a note in the symphony of my life," she muses, her voice a tender melody accompanying the visuals. The montage deepens, showing Emily's moments of challenge, her confrontation during the love triangle, her nights spent in tearful solitude. Each scene is delicately woven with those of her current peaceful solitude, illustrating her growth from pain to strength. Pain, though a harsh teacher, has sculpted the resilience that now defines me, Emily reflects, her tone imbued with gratitude. A particularly poignant moment shows Emily revisiting the old schoolyard where she once scraped her knees. Now, touching the scar, she smiles softly. Scars are not just reminders of the wounds but are testimonials of survival, she declares, her words resonating with a profound acceptance of her past pains and triumphs. As the montage comes to a close, the camera finds Emily sitting by the riverbank, the water's surface mirroring the early morning sky. Her journal lies open beside her, filled with writings and sketches of her journey. She picks it up, leafing through the pages thoughtfully. Each page, a chapter of my life, each word, a step towards understanding myself and the world around me, she narrates, her eyes reflecting the wisdom gained through years of introspective journeys. The scene gradually zooms out, leaving Emily in contemplation by the river, the gentle sound of flowing water mingling with her soft, reflective voiceover. In understanding my past, I carve a path to my future, she concludes, her figure a serene presence against the sprawling backdrop of the river and rising sun. The screen slowly fades to black, leaving a lingering sense of peace and profound understanding, setting the stage for the final revelations and conclusions in the upcoming scenes. As the new day begins, we follow Emily walking along a path lined with blooming wildflowers, her steps slow and contemplative. The soft morning light casts long shadows, and the air is filled with the scent of new beginnings. With each step, I weave the threads of my past with the hopes of my future. Emily's voice resonates, filled with a reflective calm. The camera transitions to a series of overlapping images. Emily as a young girl running through this same field, her laughter a vivid echo in the quiet morning. Cut to the present, where her pace is more measured, but her eyes, bright and aware, reflect a deep-seated joy. Joy, once fleeting and elusive, has now found a home in the quiet corners of my heart, she continues, her voice a soft overlay to the scenes of her running both as a child and now as an adult. The screen then fades into a series of vignettes showing Emily at various stages of her life. During the tumultuous times of the love triangle, the sorrowful periods of reflection, and the peaceful moments by the riverbank. Each vignette is artfully blended, showing the transformation of Emily's emotional landscape over the years. Each heartache was a stitch in the fabric of my being, each joy a color added to my soul's tapestry, she narrates, her tone imbued with a serene wisdom. The camera focuses on Emily's hands as she stops to pick a wildflower, examining its intricate details, a metaphor for her own detailed self-exploration. Like this flower, I am composed of layers, each telling its own story, each essential to the whole, she muses. As she places the flower in her hair, the camera pulls back to show her standing in a field, now fully bloomed, mirroring her own growth and blossoming. The scene shifts to show Emily reuniting with old friends from her childhood, their warm embraces and genuine smiles indicating the enduring bonds of shared history and mutual growth. These connections, old and new, are the threads that bind my story together, weaving a fabric of community and belonging, Emily explains, her voice full of gratitude. As the scene draws to a close, we see Emily at a hilltop, looking out over the town and the paths she's walked. Every path has led me here, to this moment of clarity and peace, she concludes, the camera zooming out to frame her against the vast, beautiful landscape, her journey a testament to the enduring power of resilience and hope. The screen fades to a gentle close, leaving a lingering sense of completion and anticipation for the final unfoldings of Emily's story. As the screen gently transitions from the lush fields to the cozy interior of Emily's childhood home, now aged and filled with memories, we delve deeper into the reflective journey of our protagonist. The camera pans across old photographs scattered on a wooden table, each capturing moments of laughter, tears, and triumph. In this house, each corner holds a whisper of the past. Emily's voice flows softly, her tone both nostalgic and enlightened. We see Emily sitting by the fireplace, a gentle fire crackling, casting a warm glow on her face. She picks up a photo, her fingers tracing the edges. It's a picture of her and Daniel, young and carefree, lost in a moment of youthful joy. Love in its myriad forms has sculpted me, from the fiery passion of youth to the complex, enduring connections of maturity. she reflects, placing the photo back down with a tender sigh. The scene shifts to a montage of Emily's key life events, blending the past with the present. We see her first heartbreak, the intense emotions of the love triangle, juxtaposed with her recent reunions and reconciliations. Each clip is interwoven with Emily's voiceover. Each chapter of my life, each person I've loved, they're all here with me, in the essence of who I've become. As the montage ends, Emily stands up, walking towards a large, ornate mirror. She gazes into it, her reflection merging with flashbacks of her younger self. Looking into this mirror, I see not just my face, but the faces of all who have touched my life, she muses, her voice a whisper of awe and appreciation. The camera then follows her to a small, rustic desk, where she begins to write in a journal, her words thoughtful and deliberate. This journey, fraught with every conceivable emotion, has been my greatest teacher. Each joy, each sorrow has woven a thread in the tapestry of my soul, she narrates, her hand pausing as she chooses her words with care. As she closes the journal, the camera pulls back, showing the room lit by the golden hues of sunset streaming through the window. Emily looks around, a soft smile playing on her lips. And now this tapestry, rich with the hues of my experiences, is complete. But as with all endings, there lies a new beginning, she concludes, her voice tinged with a hopeful resonance. The scene slowly fades out, leaving the viewer in a reflective silence, pondering the intricate weave of life's endless tapestry. As the camera slowly fades in from the previous scene's reflective silence, we find ourselves in a serene, twilight-lit garden behind Emily's home. The soft rustling of leaves and the distant calls of evening birds set a contemplative mood. Emily, now seen walking slowly along a stone path, pauses beside a weathered garden bench. The air is thick with the fragrance of blooming jasmine, and as she sits, the camera gently focuses on her face, illuminated by the fading light. Sometimes, the paths we walk are lined with shadows of our former selves, Emily begins, her gaze introspective. The screen softly transitions to a flashback of young Emily running through this very garden, her laughter echoing a carefree spirit. The contrast between her youthful exuberance and her now serene demeanor is poignant. The scene shifts back to present-day Emily, who continues, "Each shadow, each echo of laughter in these gardens reminds me of who I was, and who I've dared to become." Her voice is a blend of melancholy and contentment, reflecting her journey of personal evolution. As she speaks, the camera intercuts between scenes of past and present. We see moments of her challenges, the painful parts of the love triangle, her sorrowful turn, and the eventual wisdom and healing she experienced. Each memory is visually linked with the present by the recurring motif of the garden, symbolizing growth and renewal. In every heartache, there was a lesson. In every joy, a chapter written, Emily reflects, her eyes closing briefly as if to embrace the memories. The garden around her subtly transitions through the seasons with each sentence, symbolizing the passage of time and the cycles of life. The camera then pulls back to show Emily opening her eyes, looking more at peace. These gardens, this bench, they've witnessed the entirety of my journey. And just like this garden, I've grown, I've wilted, and I've bloomed anew, she states, a soft smile touching her lips. As she stands, the camera follows her gaze towards the sky, now painted with the vibrant colors of sunset. With each sunset, we end a chapter. With each sunrise, we begin anew. And so the story continues. Emily concludes, her voice filled with a hopeful resonance. The scene slowly fades to black, leaving the viewer in a reflective pause, contemplating the continuous cycle of endings and beginnings in the tapestry of life. As the darkness of the previous scene gives way to the soft glow of dawn, we find Emily once again in her cherished garden. The first rays of sunlight gently kiss the dew-laden flowers, casting a golden hue over the scene. The camera captures Emily, her silhouette framed against the new day, standing by the same garden bench where we last saw her. Every new day holds the whispers of tomorrow, she muses, her voice a quiet echo in the crisp morning air. The camera slowly circles Emily, capturing the subtle changes in her expression as she reflects on her journey. Each morning, as I watch the sunrise, I am reminded of the endless possibilities, she continues, a tender smile playing on her lips. The scene delicately shifts to a montage of Emily's significant life moments. Her youthful laughter in the garden, the challenging times of the love triangle, the painful departures, and the healing embraces. Each memory fades in and out, seamlessly intertwining with her present. As Emily walks through the garden, her hand brushes against the blooms, and with each touch, a flash of memory illuminates the screen. moments of joy, sorrow, learning, and love. These flowers, like my memories, bloom and fade, but each petal, each scent carried on the wind, carries the essence of my past, she reflects. The camera pulls back to show Emily pausing and looking towards the horizon, her eyes alight with resolve and wisdom. The journey is never truly over. It evolves, it transforms, just as we do, she asserts, her voice stronger now. The garden around her bursts into life, a metaphor for her renewed spirit and the continuous cycle of growth and decay. As she turns to leave the garden, Emily stops and looks back, her gaze lingering on the path she has walked. With each step forward, I carry the echoes of what was, armed with the hope of what will be, she declares. The scene slowly fades, the screen transitioning to a soft, hopeful light, leaving the viewer with a sense of anticipation and the comforting thought that life, with all its trials and triumphs, goes on. As the screen fades into a tranquil scene, we see Emily seated at an old oak desk, the morning light spilling through a nearby window, illuminating the pages of a worn journal before her. The camera gently zooms in on Emily's hands, poised to write, capturing the fine lines and scars that tell tales of years gone by. This journal, Emily begins, her voice soft yet filled with a resolute timbre, holds the essence of my past, the dreams of my youth, and the wisdom of my age. The scene transitions into a visual montage of Emily writing in various settings, under the shade of an ancient tree, by the flickering light of a fireplace, and in the quiet stillness of her garden at twilight. As she writes, her voiceover continues. With each word, I weave the threads of my experiences, binding the past with the present. The camera focuses on selected entries, her handwriting flowing across the pages, words blurring into scenes from her life. We see younger Emily laughing with Daniel, the pain in her eyes during the love triangle, the solitary moments of her sorrow, and the peaceful acceptance in her healing. The scene shifts back to Emily at her desk. She pauses, looking out the window, her eyes reflecting the depth of her journey. These reflections are not just recollections, she muses, but lanterns lighting the path I still tread. The camera pans out, capturing the serenity of the room, a sanctuary of her memories and dreams. As Emily closes the journal, she stands and walks towards the window, her reflection merging with the landscape beyond. In each reflection, I see not just who I was, but who I have become, she declares, her voice echoing a newfound strength. The scene delicately intertwines images of her current tranquility with the vibrant echoes of her past, symbolizing her ongoing journey. The camera slowly pulls back, leaving Emily gazing out, her silhouette a poignant blend of past and present. The scene fades out on her reflective gaze, suggesting a continuity of life's journey, ever enriched by the luminous reflections of her lived experiences. As the first light of dawn casts a golden hue over the horizon, we revisit Emily, now standing by the window, her silhouette framed against the early morning sky. The camera gently shifts to reveal a series of photographs on the wall beside her, each a frozen moment from her past. Every picture, Emily's voice resounds, soft and thoughtful, is a portal to a time once lived, a feeling once felt. The scene transitions into a poignant sequence where each photograph becomes a window into her past. We see young Emily playing in the golden fields of the quaint town, her laughter echoing through the years. The joy of her childhood memories fills the screen, followed by the complexity of her emotions as she first met Daniel. The intensity of the love triangle unfolds in silent flashes, each image laden with unspoken words and glances. As the montage continues, we witness the sorrowful turn of events and Emily's journey into solitude and reflection. Her voiceover adds depth to each memory. In the shadows of my regrets, I found the light of my wisdom. The camera returns to the present, focusing on Emily's face, now marked with the grace of age and the peace of acceptance. She touches a photograph gently, a tender smile playing on her lips. These scars and smiles, she continues, are the marks of a life fully lived, of battles fought and beauty embraced. The scene deepens as we see her writing in her journal again, this time reflecting on the photographs. With each line I write, I reclaim the fragments of my past, integrating them into the mosaic of my present. The camera pans out slowly, capturing the tranquility of her room, now illuminated by the morning light, each photograph a testament to her journey. As Emily turns back to the window, her reflection merges once again with the world outside, a symbol of her ongoing harmony with life's vast tapestry. The scene fades gently, leaving a lingering sense of serenity as Emily's journey continues to unfold, guided by the reflective wisdom of her storied past. As the serene ambience of Emily's room fades into the background, the screen transitions to a softly lit space where Emily sits surrounded by her cherished memorabilia. The camera focuses on her hands, now tracing the edges of a particularly worn photograph. "This one," Emily's voice whispers, resonant with nostalgia, "captures the moment I realized that every experience, joyful or painful, was necessary for my growth." The scene shifts, blurring the lines between past and present. We see a younger Emily at various crossroads of her life, her decisions visibly shaping her future. Each flashback is intertwined with current scenes of Emily, her expressions reflective of deep understanding and acceptance. "I used to think that time was a thief, stealing away everything I cherished," she muses. "But now I see it as a gardener, cultivating my soul for deeper blooms." We then move to a powerful montage, where past conflicts and triumphs are revisited, not as mere memories, but as lessons that have carved paths to wisdom. The love triangle, once a source of deep anguish, is now viewed through a lens of forgiveness and gratitude. "Each person who touched my life," she continues, "was a brushstroke in the painting of my being." Returning to the present, Emily picks up a small, delicate pen, poised to add to her journal. The camera captures the ink flowing onto the paper, each word a testament to her journey's significance. "In reconciling with my past," she writes, "I embrace my present, and I open my heart to the future, however unknown." The camera slowly zooms out, revealing Emily's peaceful smile as she looks around her room, each item a chapter of her life's book. She stands, placing the pen down, and walks towards the window, her figure once again merging with the light outside. "In the quiet of my reveries," Emily concludes, "I found the strength to forgive, to love, and to live fully. For in the heart of my reflections, I discovered not just myself, but the beauty of life's endless possibilities." The scene gently transitions to an evening view outside her window, the sky a canvas of twilight hues, symbolizing the peace and reconciliation Emily has achieved within herself. As the twilight hues from Emily's window transition into a starlit sky, the scene opens to a quiet, reflective space where Emily stands gazing at the horizon. The camera pulls back, revealing a silhouette of her figure against the vast, open night, a metaphor for the unknown future she faces with newfound peace. "Looking out into the night," Emily's voice is soft yet clear, "I see not darkness but a canvas of infinite possibilities." The screen gently transitions to scenes of Emily at different stages of her life, each memory now cast in the gentle glow of understanding and acceptance. We see her laughter, her tears, and her moments of decision, each clip flowing seamlessly into the next, illustrating the continuous journey of her life. "Every star in the sky," she continues, "is like a moment of my past, distant yet radiant, each contributing to the light that guides me now." The camera then focuses on Emily's eyes, reflecting the star's light, showing her deep emotional resonance with her past experiences. A soft music score begins, enhancing the mood of introspection and serenity. As the melody swells, we see a montage of Emily reconnecting with old friends, her gestures kind and forgiving, her smile genuine. "I've learned that harmony is not about a perfect melody, but about each note finding its place," she reflects. Returning to the present, Emily sits at a small table, surrounded by letters and photographs, each a testament to her reconciled relationships and healed wounds. She picks up a photo, holding it tenderly. "This journey, fraught with every shade of emotion, has taught me to embrace life's symphony," she says, placing the photo back with care. The scene closes with Emily writing in her journal once more, her words thoughtful and deliberate. "In the harmony of my horizons, I find not just peace, but a promise of tomorrow," she writes. The camera slowly zooms out, leaving viewers with the image of Emily, a content figure against the backdrop of the night, her journey a poignant reminder of the transformative power of reflection and acceptance. As the scene fades, the stars twinkle brighter, a symbol of hope and the endless beauty of the human spirit. The screen fades in from black to a serene lakeside at dawn. The first gentle rays of the sun touch the calm waters, mirroring the tranquility in Emily's soul. As she walks along the shore, her footsteps are soft, her pace unhurried. The scene is intercut with flashbacks of Emily's most turbulent moments, contrasting sharply with her current state of peace. In the quiet of the morning, Emily's voiceover begins, I find the echoes of my past not as storms, but as whispers guiding me forward. We see images of a younger Emily in conflict, her face marked by confusion and sorrow, juxtaposed with her now, where a slight smile graces her lips, her eyes kind and wise. The camera pans out to show Emily stopping by a blooming tree, the blossoms vibrant against the morning sky. She reaches out, touching the petals gently. Each petal, a reminder of a lesson learned, a hardship overcome, she muses. The scene shifts back to a particularly difficult goodbye, her past self crying in the rain. Cut back to the present, the rain is mirrored by dewdrops on the leaves, shining in the new light. Like the dew, my tears were not in vain. They nourished my growth, cleansed my vision. Her voiceover continues, the insight clear in her tone. As Emily sits by the lake, she pulls out a small, worn notebook. The pages are filled with her thoughts and sketches, a visual diary of her journey. She writes anew, her words flowing effortlessly. To embrace serenity, I had to navigate through my own noise, listen to the silence between my thoughts. The camera focuses on her handwriting, then on her face, reflective and serene. The music softly builds, a harmonic blend echoing the theme of reflection and growth. The scene slowly blends into a montage of Emily interacting warmly with people from her past, their interactions marked by genuine affection and mutual respect. It is in these quiet moments of reconciliation and love that I truly understand the strength in gentleness, she reflects. As the scene draws to a close, Emily stands up, her journal in hand, looking out over the lake. The sunrise casts a golden glow, bathing everything in warm light. Here, by this lake, I hear the echoes of serenity, a gentle symphony composed by the moments of my life, she concludes. The camera pulls back, leaving Emily a part of the beautiful, tranquil landscape, her journey a testament to the power of reflective healing and emotional maturity. As the screen fades to black, the last notes of the music linger like the lasting peace Emily has found. The screen gently transitions from the serene lakeside to an ethereal, slightly blurred sequence of various settings from Emily's past. The soft, reflective music continues as we see Emily in different stages of her life, each scene slowly blending into the next, symbolizing the passage of time and the fluidity of memory. Life, in its essence, is a series of reflections, each moment a mirror of those that came before. Emily's voiceover starts, her tone imbued with the wisdom of her experiences. We see a younger Emily laughing joyously with friends. Then the scene shifts to a more mature Emily helping an elderly neighbor, her actions gentle and deliberate. The contrast highlights her growth from carefree youth to compassionate adulthood. As the montage continues, the focus shifts to Emily's relationships. We see her in heartfelt conversations, sometimes challenging, other times comforting. Every person I've met, every connection I've nurtured has sculpted the contours of my heart, she reflects. The screen shows a poignant moment where Emily reconciles with a friend after a long misunderstanding, their hug a powerful symbol of forgiveness and understanding. The visuals flow into scenes of Emily alone, engaged in various acts of creativity and self-expression, painting, writing, gardening. These solitary moments are my silent dialogues, where I converse with my inner self, Emily narrates. The camera focuses on her hands as they move with purpose and passion, each stroke and word a testament to her evolving self. The scene becomes more introspective as Emily is shown looking through old photographs, each snapshot bringing a smile or a contemplative frown. Photos, like memories, are both a return and a discovery, each glance backward a step forward, she muses. The camera captures the subtle emotions playing across her face, the light catching her eyes, reflecting her inner peace and resolve. As the montage draws to a close, we return to the present with Emily back at the lakeside, the sun now fully risen, its light brilliant and clear. She stands looking out over the water, the past and present merging in her reflection on the surface. In the calm waters of reflection, I see not just who I was, but who I have become, Emily concludes, her voice a soft echo. The camera pulls away slowly, leaving her figure a part of the landscape, strong and serene against the vast horizon. As the scene fades to black, the music reaches a gentle crescendo, leaving a sense of completeness and tranquility. As the screen fades from black, we are greeted with a soft golden hue that bathes the scene in warmth. The camera pans over a small, cozy room filled with the mementos of a life richly lived. Books line the shelves, paintings adorn the walls, and a small, well-worn journal sits atop a desk, its pages brimming with handwritten thoughts. Each object, each artifact around me holds a whisper of a time once lived, Emily's voiceover begins, her tone reflective yet filled with a quiet joy. We see her gently picking up a seashell, her fingers tracing its spirals, her eyes distant yet filled with a deep understanding. This shell from a beach long ago reminds me of a day of laughter and sun, of a moment when the future seemed as wide as the ocean. The scene shifts, blending seamlessly into a memory of Emily, younger, her hair tousled by the sea breeze, laughter pealing as she runs along the shore. The camera then transitions back to the present, focusing on Emily as she places the shell back on the shelf, her smile tender. It's these small harbors of the past that anchor us to our journey, she muses. The screen then shows Emily opening her journal, flipping through pages filled with sketches and writings. Every word, every line, a step in the story of becoming, she continues, her voice imbued with the weight of her introspections. As she reads a passage aloud, the scene blurs into a past moment of her sitting under a tree, pen in hand, deeply engrossed in her writing. We then return to the present, Emily closing her journal, her expression one of contentment and resolve. In the quiet solitude of this room, I've wrestled with doubts, danced with dreams, and found peace in the whispers of my own heart, she declares, her gaze steady and sure. The camera slowly pulls away, capturing Emily as she stands by the window, looking out at a gentle rain. Here in this sacred space, I see the threads of my past not as chains but as tapestries woven into the fabric of who I am today. The scene lingers on her serene profile, the raindrops tracing paths down the glass, each a silent testament to the passage of time and the clarity it brings. As the voiceover ends, the screen gradually transitions to a soft focus, leaving behind a sense of profound peace and understanding, setting the stage for the concluding scenes of reflection and future horizons. The screen gently transitions from the tranquil room to a dimly lit hallway, lined with framed photographs that capture moments from Emily's life, each frame a frozen echo of laughter, tears, and triumph. In every face, in every snapshot, a part of my soul is mirrored back at me, Emily's voiceover whispers, as the camera slowly moves down the hallway, pausing on a particularly striking black and white photo of a younger Emily with her friends, their smiles wide and carefree. These faces, these bonds formed in the furnace of shared experiences, they sculpted me, chiseled out the essence of my spirit, she reflects, her tone laced with gratitude. The scene shifts, blending into a vivid memory of Emily and her friends at a vibrant festival, colors swirling, music soaring, life in its most vivid tapestry around them. Laughter fills the air, a stark contrast to the serene quiet of the hallway. We see Emily, vibrant and alive, her eyes sparkling with the sheer joy of the moment. The memory is palpable, almost touchable, as if one could step through the screen and join in their revelry. As the memory fades, the camera returns to the present, focusing on Emily as she touches the glass of the frame gently, her expression a complex blend of nostalgia and fortitude. Each cherished memory, a building block of my being, has led me to countless crossroads, each choice a brushstroke in the grand painting of life, she muses thoughtfully. The camera follows her as she walks to the end of the hallway, stopping before a large, ornate mirror. Emily gazes into her reflection, a lifetime of choices and dreams gazing back at her. Looking into this mirror, I see not just my face, but the faces of all who have touched my life. I am a mosaic of their love, their lessons, and their legacy, she states, her voice a soft but powerful affirmation of her journey. As she turns away from the mirror, the camera captures her silhouette against the soft light filtering through a nearby window, her posture reflective of a life well lived and a future still to be embraced. In the quiet reflections of this corridor, I see not the shadow of what was, but the light of what can be, Emily concludes, her voice a tender promise to continue weaving the legacy of her past into the tapestry of tomorrow. The scene slowly fades to black, leaving a lingering sense of introspection and the timeless dance between past and future, setting the stage for the concluding reflections of the journey. As the screen fades from black, we find ourselves in a serene garden bathed in the golden hues of a setting sun. The camera pans over blooming flowers and tall, whispering trees, each sway telling a story of resilience and growth. Just as these trees have weathered storms to stretch towards the sky, so have I found strength in the tempests of my own life, Emily's voiceover begins, her tone reflective and filled with a profound understanding of her journey. The scene gently transitions to a younger Emily, sitting under one of these very trees, a book in her lap, lost in thought. The laughter and music of the festival still echo in the background, a stark contrast to this moment of solitude. In solitude, I found my voice. Amidst the cacophony of life, I discovered my silence, she muses, her younger self looking up from the book with a smile that speaks of inner peace and determination. The camera returns to the present, focusing on Emily now seated at the same spot, the tree much taller, its branches more expansive, mirroring her own growth. She touches the bark, tracing the lines as if reading the story of her past self, her connection with the moment palpable. Each leaf, a reminder of a fleeting moment, every ring, a testament to enduring through seasons of change, she continues, her voice intertwining with the rustle of the leaves. A montage follows, blending moments of her past and present, her triumphs, her losses, her quiet reflections, and her joyful reunions, each clip a thread in the vibrant tapestry of her life. The scene shifts back to Emily in the garden, her gaze contemplative as she looks towards the horizon, the sky painted with strokes of orange and pink. In the whispers of the wind, in the silence of this garden, I hear the echoes of eternity, reminding me that our stories are never truly finished, she reflects, her eyes glistening with the wisdom of her years. As she stands, the camera captures her silhouette against the radiant sky, a symbol of her journey from the shadows into the light. I carry forward not just my dreams, but the dreams of those who walked this path with me, their spirits intertwined with mine, forever a part of my story, Emily concludes, her voice a gentle yet powerful affirmation of her legacy and her never-ending journey. The scene slowly fades to a soft, lingering twilight, leaving viewers with a sense of peace and the timeless beauty of life's continuous unfolding. As the twilight deepens into a starlit sky, we see Emily standing by the window, gazing out at the night as if looking into another world. The camera slowly zooms in on her face, illuminated by the soft moonlight, reflecting a myriad of emotions. Nights like these, Emily begins, her voice a whisper mingled with the quiet of the evening, remind me of the nights spent under starry skies, pondering the vastness of our existence and the intricate simplicity of our lives. The scene transitions to a flashback of a younger Emily on a similar night, her eyes wide with wonder as she maps out constellations, each star a beacon of hope and dreams yet to be fulfilled. The voiceover continues as the scene melds back to the present. Those stars haven't changed, but I have. With each passing year, I've added a little more to my story, a little more color to the canvas of my life. The camera pans over to a small aged notebook on her desk, its pages filled with sketches and writings from her youth. Emily picks it up, flipping through the pages, each turn revealing reflections and dreams of her younger self. These pages, she muses, touching a particularly worn entry, capture moments of joy, pain, love, and loss, each a brushstroke on the evolving artwork that is my life. As she reads a passage aloud, the screen splits, showing moments from her past corresponding to her words, her first heartbreak, the loss of a beloved friend, the joy of a reunion, the pain of a farewell. Life, she says, returning to the present and closing the notebook gently, is not just about the moments that take our breath away. It is also about those quiet moments of introspection, of finding clarity amidst chaos, and of learning to dance in the rain. The camera follows her as she walks back to the window, her reflection merging with the night outside. Looking at these stars, I am reminded of the light and darkness within us all, the struggles that shape us, and the hopes that drive us. She pauses, a soft smile playing on her lips. And just like the night sky, no matter how dark it gets, there is always a light that guides us home. As she turns from the window, the scene fades out, leaving behind a sense of tranquility and the profound beauty of a life fully lived, each memory a cherished note in the symphony of existence. As the scene fades in from the poignant reflections of Emily by the window, we find ourselves in a serene, dimly lit room filled with the soft sounds of a ticking clock and a flickering candle casting gentle shadows. Emily sits in a cozy armchair, a blanket draped over her knees, her eyes closed in contemplation. The camera slowly circles around her, capturing the peaceful aura enveloping her presence. In the quiet of the night, Emily's voice softly breaks the silence. I often hear the whispers of my past echoing through the shadows of my mind. The scene gently transitions into a spectral dance of light and shadow playing across the walls, each shadow morphing into a vignette of Emily's past experiences. The voiceover guides us through these shadows. Here, in the solitude of my reflections, I see not just the events that shaped me, but the emotions that defined those moments. We see a young Emily laughing heartily with friends, the shadow of her laughter echoing in the present as a soft smile touches her lips. Next, a shadow of a younger Emily in a moment of despair, sitting on the ground, her hands covering her face. The camera returns to present-day Emily, her eyes now open, reflecting a mature understanding. Each of these shadows, she continues, carries the weight of lessons learned and the lightness of heartfelt joys. The scene deepens as the camera focuses on Emily's face, reflecting the flickering candlelight. It's in these reflective moments that I confront my fears, embrace my failures, and celebrate my victories. The shadows shift, showing Emily overcoming obstacles, her figure resilient and determined. The voiceover adds, "Like the candle's flame, my spirit has flickered in the winds of challenge, yet it has never extinguished." As Emily rises from the chair, the shadows around her seem to dance, merging into a scene of her walking through a lush, moonlit garden. With each step through this garden of memories, she narrates as her silhouette merges with the floral shadows. "I understand more about who I am and who I aspire to be." The camera pulls back, showing Emily reaching out to touch the delicate petals of a night-blooming flower. And just like these night blooms, there is beauty in growing through the darkness, in blossoming at your own pace. The scene culminates as Emily returns to the armchair, the candle now low, its light still persistent. She whispers, "In the whispers of the night, in the shadows of my past, I find not just myself, but the countless possibilities of what I can still become." The camera slowly zooms out, leaving Emily enveloped in the comforting embrace of the night, her journey illuminated by the gentle, enduring light of self-discovery and hope. As the scene fades to black, the whispers of the past blend with the promise of the future, a testament to Emily's ever-evolving story. As the last echoes of Emily's contemplative whispers fade away, the scene transitions to a quiet, moonlit lakeside. The gentle lapping of the water against the shore resonates with the rhythm of her heartbeats, reflecting the tranquility and turmoil within. Emily, now standing by the water's edge, gazes at the reflection of the moon, a mirror to her soul. "In the stillness of this night," she begins, her voice a soft echo over the serene scene. "The water before me holds not just the reflection of the moon, but also the reflections of my life." The camera pans slowly, capturing the silver glow on the water and the silhouette of Emily, standing contemplatively. The scene delicately shifts, blending the real with the reflective, as images of Emily's past ripple across the water's surface. We see her as a child, her laughter mingling with the splash of water as she plays. Then, as a young woman, facing the harsh storms of life, her reflection distorted by the turbulent waves. Emily watches, her expression a mix of nostalgia and newfound understanding. "Each reflection," she continues, "is a chapter of my story, written by the waters of time and experience." The voiceover guides us deeper into her reflections. "Just as the water calms, so have I learned to soothe the chaos that once stormed within me." The scene shows a calmer water, reflecting a more composed and mature Emily, her face serene, touched by the wisdom of her years. The camera draws closer to her face, capturing the subtle play of moonlight and shadow, revealing the depth of her growth. "Tonight, by this reflective mirror of nature, I reconcile the girl I was with the woman I have become." Emily's voice resonates with a quiet strength. The reflections in the water merge, showing her at different ages, finally stabilizing into her current self, whole and at peace. These waters, like my journey, are never the same. They change as I do, flowing forward with resilience and grace. As the camera pulls back, Emily reaches down, touching the water, sending ripples across its surface. With each ripple, I send forth my hopes, my regrets, my lessons learned into the night. Her reflection is now a part of the vast, intricate pattern of ripples, intertwining her past with her present and future. The scene slowly fades out, leaving behind the image of the moon's persistent glow on the water, a symbol of Emily's enduring spirit. In the quiet reflection between the shadows, her voice whispers one last time, "I find clarity, I find strength, and above all, I find peace." The tranquil waters, under the watchful eye of the moon, hold the promise of continuity and the gentle assurance of ongoing growth, mirroring Emily's journey through the landscapes of her life. As the night deepens, the scene transitions from the tranquil lakeside to the softly lit interior of Emily's childhood home, now quiet and still in the late hours. The camera glides through the dimly lit hallways, each shadow and beam of moonlight casting long, dancing patterns across the wooden floors. As we enter the living room, the focus shifts to an old, dust-covered piano, a relic from Emily's past, untouched yet full of memories. Softly, almost imperceptibly, the sound of a piano begins to fill the room, gentle and melancholic. The camera pans to Emily, seated at the piano, her fingers hesitantly caressing the keys. "This old piano," she whispers, her voice thick with emotion, "was once my refuge, my voice when words failed me." As she presses the keys, the notes are hesitant at first, like the faltering steps of a long-forgotten dance. The room fills with the ghostly echoes of a younger Emily, a child whose small hands awkwardly yet passionately push the same keys, her joy and frustrations in each note. The scene overlays images of her parents, once seated nearby, now only present in the lingering vibrations of the piano's strings. "Here, I laughed, I cried, I grew," Emily narrates, her adult finesse now blending seamlessly with the innocent determination of her younger self. The camera draws closer to her face, illuminated by the moonlight streaming through a nearby window, highlighting the tears that glisten in her eyes. "Each melody tells a story, a chapter of my life, echoing through time," she continues. Her fingers grow more confident, the music swelling into a beautiful, complex piece that fills the room with warmth and life. "Through these notes, I connect with the child I once was and the dreams she had." Emily's voice softens, filled with a profound reverence for her past experiences. The music crescendos, a powerful blend of past and present, symbolizing her journey from childhood innocence to mature understanding. As the piece reaches its emotional peak, Emily slowly stops playing, her hands resting on the keys, her head bowed in silent acknowledgement of her journey. "In this quiet room, with these soft whispers of the past," she concludes, lifting her head to gaze directly into the camera, "I embrace all that I was and all that I have become." The scene fades out with the last note echoing in the room, leaving a lingering sense of completeness and reconciliation, a tribute to the enduring power of memory and music in Emily's life. As the last note from the piano dissipates into the stillness, the scene gently transitions to the serene exterior of Emily's childhood home. Under the moon's soft glow, the garden, overgrown yet oddly comforting, mirrors the wild, untamed corners of her emotions. We see Emily stepping outside, her figure a silhouette against the soft interior light spilling from the house. She walks slowly through the garden, each step deliberate, brushing against the dew-laden flowers and leaves, her touch rekindling memories of days spent in carefree exploration. "The garden," Emily's voice breaks the silence, her tone a tender mix of nostalgia and growth, "was once a canvas for my imagination, a place where dreams took root alongside the wildflowers." The camera follows her gaze to a small, forgotten nook beneath an ancient oak tree, its branches sprawling like the intricate stories of her past. Here, the camera captures the subtle interplay of shadows and light, crafting a visual metaphor for the complexities of her emotions. Softly, the scene is interwoven with flashbacks of a younger Emily, her laughter pealing through the air as she plays hide-and-seek among the trees, her small hands planting seeds that would one day bloom into beautiful flowers. "Here I learned about the cycles of life and death, growth and decay, and the beauty of rebirth," she narrates, her voice echoing the wisdom gained through the years. As she reaches the heart of the garden, Emily pauses, her eyes closing in a moment of deep reflection. The camera captures the profound tranquility of the scene, her face bathed in moonlight, evoking a sense of peace and resolution. "Each plant, each petal and leaf holds a note in the melody of my life," she continues, her words flowing with the grace of the music she played moments before. The scene culminates as Emily opens her eyes, her gaze lifting towards the night sky. The stars twinkling in the vastness seem to play their part in this symphony of memories. "In the quiet of this night, under the watchful eyes of the stars, I find harmony," she whispers, her voice a soft caress. "The harmony between the girl I was and the woman I have become." With a final sweeping shot of the garden, now seen as a beautiful, chaotic masterpiece of nature and memory intertwined, the scene slowly fades to black, leaving a lingering impression of Emily's journey through the echoes of her past and the silent acceptance of her present. As the darkness of night holds the world in its gentle embrace, we find Emily seated at the edge of the old wooden dock that juts into the still lake, the moon casting silvery trails across the water's surface. The calmness of the scene reflects the serenity in her soul, a stark contrast to the turbulent waves of her younger years. This lake, Emily's voice softly unravels the threads of her thoughts, has been a witness to the seasons of my life, from the storms to the tranquil dawns. The camera pans slowly, capturing the reflective shimmer of the lake, mirroring not just the physical landscape, but also the emotional contours of Emily's journey. As a child, she continues, her gaze fixed on the gentle ripples, I saw this lake as an adventure, endless and mysterious. Now it feels like a companion that has quietly observed my transformations, absorbing both my tears and my laughter. Soft music begins to weave through her words, enhancing the reflective mood. The scene subtly transitions into a montage of Emily at various ages, running along the shore, skipping stones, and later pensively watching the horizon, each phase accompanied by her evolving insights. Here, by this lake, I've celebrated joys and grieved losses. Each reflection in the water, a story, a lesson learned. The camera returns to the present, focusing on Emily's face, more lined than before, yet radiant with a hard-earned wisdom. I've come to understand, she muses, her voice a blend of melancholy and hope, that life, like this lake, is both deep and vast, filled with hidden currents and surprising shallows. Embracing its whole is embracing oneself, with all the flaws and strengths. As she stands, her reflection in the water blurs, symbolizing the ongoing changes within her. She casts a small stone into the lake, watching the ripples expand and fade into the calmness. Each stone, each ripple, like each moment of our lives, influences the whole, echoing far beyond the initial splash, she reflects, tying her personal evolution to the broader tapestry of life. The scene closes with Emily walking back towards the shore, her figure slowly merging with the night, leaving behind the serene lake, a perfect mirror under the starlit sky, holding the whispers of her past and the echoes of her eternal journey. The screen gently fades to black, signaling a moment of closure and continuity in the dance of light and shadows. As the screen fades from the dark serenity of the lake to the soft glow of dawn, we return to Emily, now walking through a lush, sunlit meadow. The golden light bathes the field, igniting the dew-speckled flowers into sparkling life. Emily's steps are unhurried, each one taken with a reflective grace. Each morning, she begins, her voice carrying the warmth of the sun, brings a canvas of possibilities. Just like this meadow, which transforms with the seasons, so have I, shaped by each experience, each decision. The camera follows her gaze to a cluster of butterflies fluttering around a wildflower, a symbol of delicate resilience. These butterflies, Emily observes, they remind me of myself at various stages, fragile yet determined, always striving towards the light. Soft, introspective music swells as we see a flashback montage. Young Emily learning to ride a bike, falling and getting up. Teenage Emily facing her first heartbreak under the rain. Adult Emily achieving her first major career milestone, her face alight with pride and relief. Each memory fades into the next, illustrating her growth and the ever-changing landscape of her life. With every fall, every triumph, I've learned to rise, to adapt, to embrace the uncertainty that once frightened me, she reflects, her voice tinged with the wisdom of her years. The camera captures her now, pausing to touch the petals of a blooming rose, her expression contemplative. This journey, she continues, isn't just about the destinations I've reached, but about the person I've become along the way. As Emily resumes her walk, the camera pulls back to show the vastness of the meadow, her figure a small yet significant part of a larger, breathtaking tapestry. And like this meadow, I am not defined by a single season, but by the richness of my entire cycle. The scene gently transitions to Emily reaching the crest of a small hill, looking out over the meadow and beyond, her silhouette framed against the sprawling beauty of the landscape. From the vantage of hindsight, she muses, a smile playing on her lips, the view is beautiful, filled with colors of joy, shades of sorrow, and hues of healing. The music softens as she sits, drawing her knees close, her eyes reflective and peaceful. Here, in the quiet heart of nature, I find clarity. I see not just where I've been, but who I am now. The scene lingers on her serene face, a testament to her journey's impact, before fading out, leaving the audience with a sense of completion and the quiet anticipation of what lies ahead in the remaining reflections of her story. As the scene shifts, we find Emily at the edge of the meadow, her eyes locked onto an old, gnarled tree standing solitary against the horizon. Its branches, twisted and bare, contrast starkly with the vibrant life of the meadow. This tree, Emily's voice echoes softly, stands as a testament to resilience. Weathered by storms and basking in sunlight, it holds stories in its bark. The camera zooms in on the rough texture of the tree, each crevice a mark of time past. We transition into a memory of Emily as a child, her small hands tracing the patterns of the bark, her father beside her explaining the importance of endurance and growth. He told me, she recalls, her voice layered with nostalgia and insight, that life, much like this tree, isn't about how harshly the winds blow, but about how deeply you root yourself in your beliefs and dreams. The scene gently shifts back to the present, showing Emily placing her grown hand against the same tree, a symbolic gesture bridging past and present. Soft piano notes underscore her continued reflection. As I grew, so did my dreams. Some were blown away with the winds of change, others deeply rooted, branching out in directions I once feared to explore. The visuals alternate between scenes of her past achievements and challenges, her graduation, her first job interview, moments of solitude and deep contemplation. Each clip is a piece of the mosaic that forms her life's journey. As the camera pulls back, we see Emily walking around the tree, her touch lingering on the bark. Each of us has our own tree of life, she muses, her tone imbued with a mix of melancholy and hope. With branches of our choices, leaves of our experiences, and roots in our values and connections. As she steps back, her silhouette now framed by the setting sun behind the tree, the scene captures a powerful image of her looking towards the sky. Though the seasons change and leaves may fall, she concludes, her voice strong yet tender, the essence of who we are remains, shaped by every moment we've lived. The scene fades out with a lingering shot of the horizon, now painted with the hues of twilight, reflecting the profound journey of growth and understanding that defines Emily's existence.